Okay, guys, this is Janeen with Pathfinders Downsizing Solutions. Thanks for joining us again. And today I wanted to talk a little bit more about one of our partners with Project Good Works. This is Dr. Janeen Simmons. She is so awesome. I just love working with her. And so I've asked her to be with us this afternoon, and I wanted to ask her a little bit about her nonprofit, and it's called Inside Reach Ministries. So, Dr. Shanae, tell me, what is Inside Reach Ministries? There's the first question for you.
Yes, well, first, thanks for having me, and what a pleasure to be able to spend time with you. You know, I absolutely love you. So, Inside Reach Ministries. Inside Reach Ministries is a nonprofit that allows my husband and I, who's co-founder, co-owner, to show the love of Christ in meaningful and practical ways in the community. We are professionals. We work in different industries. He's an insurance agent. I'm a mental health therapist. And we recognize an opportunity to do some things that we call heart work in the community through our nonprofit. And so for Inside Reach Ministries, it gives us the opportunity to do our heart work.
Awesome. That is so cool. Okay, so, all right, great. Then I'm guessing, just knowing you, because you're kind of like my multitasker friend, you have more than, how exactly do you show? What areas? Or do you have some certain, I'll say, lanes that you really serve? Tell me about those.
Yes. So Inside Reach Ministries started, the very first baby, if you will, that we birthed through Inside Reach Ministries was our couples ministry, which is called the Get in Touch Network. It runs on its own. It has its own leadership team, but it is absolutely underneath Inside Reach Ministries. We are passionate about marriages, and we want marriages to be supported and to grow. And we want to tell those excellent stories because, you know, we didn't have examples growing up. But some of our other initiatives include Embrace Hope. Embrace Hope is the newest baby of Inside Reach Ministries, and it is an initiative to support pregnancy centers in the area by giving them access to mental health providers. A lot of times pregnancy centers are low budget and they really can't afford to have a qualified mental health provider. And so we use some of our interns to help undergird those centers. It's so new though that its launch was impacted by COVID-19. So it's kind of simmering because everyone's pivoting at this point. Yeah. But it is absolutely one of our babies. The other initiative that's getting the most steam in the moment is Bridge Builders. And Bridge Builders is an opportunity for us to build connection, to build community, and to figure out how to fill gaps in the community. And we do that with a couple focus areas, one being the faith community, the other being the mental health community. While both of those industries or both of those communities are really focused on helping people and helping people feel better, historically, they've not worked well together. And so we look for opportunities to create a platform for dialogue to bring them together, bridge their gap, so that people are feeling supported holistically and they don't feel like they have to cut parts of themselves away to get treatment or to be supported by people that they care about.
Awesome. Good. Very important stuff. That is so cool. Well, okay. So, you know, basically Pathfinders Downsizing Solutions, we're senior move managers. So we're moving our clients that are downsizing into smaller homes. We're moving them. And this often what goes into Project Good Works are pieces of home goods, basically, that, you know, they're the leftovers. Okay. It still has good bones. It still has good function. It can still bless somebody. It's got another life in it, but just not necessarily a life with our clients. And they want to be a blessing to somebody. And when it goes to a larger nonprofit, our clients don't see and feel that direct impact of changing somebody's lives. And through Project Good Works, that's what we do, is to connect with, you know, smaller nonprofits that are looking to make differences in other people's lives in the community. But I'm not, okay, so you work with marriage, and there's the Bridge Builders, and there's pregnancy. Well, I haven't yet worked with any of my senior clients that are pregnant. So I'm trying to kind of, just saying, Lots of grandkids they want to brag about, and that's awesome. We love to hear those stories. But how exactly are we connecting for you with Project Good Works?
Well, it's a great question. So, as you heard the things that we are working on, we don't have a structure in place to help people who have those kinds of needs. But that doesn't mean that those needs don't come up. When you're working with people, especially in Florida, we got transient population, we've got hurricane season. Now, we've got the pandemic. There's a lot of different things that are happening. When you work with people, crises come up all the time. And crises are not limited to socioeconomic status. So even though you may be able to afford services, that doesn't necessarily mean you have an emergency fund sufficient enough to help you if you get displaced. Or maybe a marriage doesn't work. Or maybe someone is in a pregnancy center and they're getting services and they decide that they're going to grow their family, but they really need that additional help to meet the needs of additional children. You'd be surprised how an extra nightstand might be helpful. You'd be surprised. A mattress. Unfortunately, there are families that we do encounter from time to time who had things like bed bug infestation. And while they may not need a whole house, that extra mattress could be very essential. So we work with people, and whenever you work with people, their lives are impacted. Their lives are essential. And so it's great for us to be able to have a resource to check into and say, you know what, we don't have a budget line item to get you a bedroom set, but we might just have a resource for that. And when you meet the needs of when you meet people's daily, practical, urgent needs, then you can reach their long-term heart,
Right.
spiritual needs. Jesus fed the people first, and then he talked to them about where their souls were going. And so that's what we mean about meeting people and delivering love to them meaningfully and practically. That's
Oh my
exactly
gosh.
what we mean.
That is so cool. And our clients it is just amazing how all the different aspects that they are able to bless in such a cool way. We found there was one recently, and this was with a different agency, but we had heard through the grapevine from this agency that there was a woman that had 3 autistic children that hers raising, and then the refrigerator pooped out, right? So what are you supposed to do? The lady was working out of a picnic cooler to try and use that as a refrigerator because she just didn't have the funds. But we were moving a client that actually had sold his piece of real estate, his home, to a flipper. Super cool. And we got to noodle in it and thinking about it. I'm like, wait a second. So we went back to this client and we asked him, hey, would you mind? We heard about this lady. So he went back to the purchaser of the real estate and said, if you're going to flip it and you don't need the refrigerator, could we make a deal and put it in as an addendum on the back of, basically on our contract, so that the girls we can get it out and we can get it to the woman that really needs it. And that's what we did. That's life-changing stuff, man.
Yes.
That is so cool.
And how innovative is that? I mean, there are ways that you can be a blessing to people, and it doesn't necessarily have to come out of your own pockets all the time.
No, it's just thinking outside the box.
And community. And that's really what we're about. If we can get people to start thinking about community, we can address a good portion of the challenges that folks are struggling with right now. We got to get people to start thinking about community and not always thinking about what my bottom dollar is.
Well, and even ultimately, it would be super cool if on Project Good Works we had a post say, and maybe there was more than one nonprofit that wanted some of the items in the home or whatever, but neither nonprofit had, say, a truck. Okay, it would be super cool if, like, oh, you guys connect, rent the truck for the day, run around, pick all the stuff up, deposit it to me, work together as 2 nonprofits that are unified and stronger, and you've reduced your cost and you've grown a community.
Absolutely.
Boom.
Absolutely. No, that's an important thing. I think we're starting to see it a little more these days. It's nothing like a good old pandemic to get you to rethink.
It's either gonna make you crazy or get you smarter. There you
Yes,
go.
get you to rethink about how you use your resources, how you can get creative. I wrote a blog about that, about, just reducing, reusing, revision, review, like all the reads, right?
Yeah,
Because we have the skill sets, but we've just become so convenient based, so
yeah,
convenience based that we forget, like, you know what? I can actually do something different with this, or I can actually somebody else can do something with that. I
yeah,
purged my closets on purpose during the pandemic. So at the end of this, I can make a donation, and I'm pretty sure Dress for Success or some other,
oh yeah,
organization will need more clothes, because people are going to need to
yeah,
reevaluate the workforce. But a lot of times people are not thinking communally,
yeah. Well, we help our
unfortunately.
clients do that. We love what we do to give them the gift of home. It's so cool to be able to downsize somebody. We're usually moving them from their like a home, like a regular single family home or something, and we're moving them into independent living or assisted living. They just want a smaller footprint because it's just so
Mm-hmm.
much to manage after a certain age,
Absolutely.
and it's just a lot of hassle. So that remnant is what they're blessing the community with, and it's so cool. They lighten the load because they know that their stuff's going directly to somebody that needs it. It's
Yes,
so
yes.
neat.
And one of the things, I don't know if I ever really got a chance to tell you, that one of the things that we were able to do, we were able to help a young lady who was launching out of her father's wings. And so I don't even remember all the items. It might have been like a toaster oven or something, but we were able to be a blessing to her because we had picked some things up from you. And I think there's someone who's running a transitional home, because mental health providers know mental health providers, and other mental health providers know other mental health providers. And mental health can be delivered in so many different ways. Somebody may be working in a domestic violence shelter. Somebody might be working with the substance abuse population. So we talk, and when we have a need, we're all like, do you know anybody who has this? Do you know anybody who has that? And so now people, because of our connection to good work, I've noticed more and more of, my name getting tagged. Hey, Janeen, do you know anybody who has this? Or do you know anybody who knows that? And so you're helping in ways you don't even realize. And I'm pretty sure that some of the clients that you serve would be thrilled and tickled pink that some of the items that they had made it into a young 20-something-year-old's first apartment.
I know. Isn't that sweet? Oh my gosh. Well, you got to hook me up with those other people too, so they can see it all and we can just make the magic happen even quicker.
Yes,
'Cause that's
yes.
like fairy dust, man. That's like a pocket full of fairy dust. Make that go. And then there's other stuff too. Like I've got a prospective client that's coming up, and I did a consultation with him yesterday. Oh my gosh, some smoking hot, legitimate, real deal mid-century modern furniture. Okay,
Wow.
well that, I know the resellers. We know resellers that will buy that. He can make some coin. He can make bank on that. But the other stuff that can still be a blessing to somebody, maybe 1980s furniture that's seafoam green and mauve isn't as hip as it used to be. But those are the kinds of things that, if you need the donation and it's still in excellent shape, it just is not the most fashion trend. Who
Absolutely.
cares? Because that's where you are, and it's a place that you can still get a hand with where you're at, and then it still shows you the next rung up that you can do on your own. Sometimes you just need a little launch, and
Absolutely.
that's what this Project Good Works is all about.
I'm excited.
Thank you so much for spending a little time with me, girl.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate you and the work you guys are doing. It's amazing.
Thank you. Thanks for being a part of it. Have a great day.
You too.
Okay.